So, just to make things clear, I don't want to offend anybody in this video, right? Or any player, right? However, I will say the ones who like to get into chases a lot and doesn't like being tunneled, y'all crazy as hell. As a matter of fact, no. It doesn't make absolutely no sense why y'all don't like something like that. You like survivors, particularly the ones who like to get into chase, love the interaction. And if you love the interaction, that means you should have some type of liking towards tunneling. Don't get me wrong. There are some issues at times when it comes to tunneling. Or maybe you probably just not in the mood for it, even though you like to get into the interaction a lot. However, the ones who complain about tunneling but like to get into a chase with killer, I'll admit, y'all need to get better there. I'm sorry to say, y'all need to get better. Because it's rare. Here's the thing about tunneling. Tunneling is when a killer only focuses on you from the beginning to the end. From zero hook stages to death hook. The killer's fixated on you. Wants to go ahead and tunnel you. Right? And to me, that interaction is fun as hell. For one, it's not that common. That's for one. And two, it's actually real fun. It's enjoyable. It even gives you that fear factor in DBD. That's probably like one of the only consistent fear factors that you could get from this game nowadays. And that's a killer fixated on you. Similar to how Myers was fixated on Laurie Strode in the first Halloween movie. It's that fear factor that makes it great, but also gives you a chance to get the upper hand on the killer too. The only issue that I be having when it comes to me getting tunneled, but that's only because I play solo queue. And there's them times to where the match gets epic. The killer tunnels you. You put in the work. The killer, in a way, put in the work too, even though they're fixated on you, right? The match is getting epic. Next thing you know, for some reason, after this whole time, these randoms don't want to go ahead and save you. And you just end up dying. Because of their bad decision, then the team loses. After you getting tunneled, getting to a chase, having that insane interaction, don't even want to get you on the hook anymore. And you could tell that the killer's waiting for you to get off the hook so that the killer can come back at you again, pressure you again, shake their head, pick up, put you back on the hook. But that's the rare occasion right there, to an extent. I don't know, sometimes I have bad luck with that to where I actually began tunnel, I'm having the fun of my life, but the teammates don't want to help. But then, of course, there's also times that when the randoms will help, they knows that you're getting tunneled, and they're going to try their best to body block. But guess what? The killer ignores them, even downs them, ignores them, but still comes after you. I don't know. To me, that's one of the most enjoyable things within DVDs to get tunneled. Look, for people who don't like to get into a chase like that, it's understandable. It's understandable for y'all because y'all mostly prefer working on gens or just do the other objectives like destroy totems, get toolboxes, probably more or less be a support, and probably only get into a chase when needed to, right? So it's understandable. But the ones who love getting tunneled, especially the cocky ones with a flashlight, which I'll admit, the cocky ones with a flashlight that gets into a chase, gets camp tunnel and all that, and they DC, y'all sorry as hell anyway. Y'all like on the worst scale, the ones who act like that. But in general, for all the people who like to get into a chase, whether you're the ones I just mentioned that just DC over some petty stuff, or the ones that just get upset because you're being in a chase with them for too long. And that's another thing. If you're getting into a chase for them for too long, even after you got off the hook and you still want to chase you, why be so eager to get into a chase then? What makes you want to, get the kill to chase you, right? Just so that you only want to get to a chase for a short amount of time. The matches overall are like around average of 10 minutes anyway. Honestly, getting tunnel though is good practice. Good practice on your chase. However, I will say, the issue though, another issue when it comes to tunneling is also due to the map RNG. But let's be real, we all know that in terms of games, Dead by Dead has by far the most inconsistent map design that we've ever seen. No other game though where you're gonna go ahead and talk about balanced maps. It usually just be the character themselves. In this game here, is always the maps. Even if a perk is strong and overpowered, as long as that map is in your favor, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Unless you're a nurse or a blight. Now I'm not even gonna say blight, cause blight gets hurt in inside maps. So just nurse, unless you're a nurse. Then it don't matter. Right? But yeah, it's a crazy thing, right? Y'all want to get into, y'all like getting into chases, but y'all don't like getting tunnel. A killer fixating on you getting tunnel is probably the best time to really get your true potential out. Get into the chase that you want. Like I said, all survivors are not like that. All survivors that are not into chase are not like that. Cause there are survivors that are like me that I don't mind getting tunneled. We get the thrill of that. We're warriors. We like that. We thrive off of that. We want the interaction. We want it badly. You know? But yeah, that's it though. That's all I want to discuss about, because it's just crazy to me that people don't like getting tunneled. And don't get me wrong, they already did changes to tunneling, which brings me to another point actually. I hope, and I really hope, that what they do with tunneling later throughout the rest of this year do not ruin tunneling. Please. Because if it gets to the point to where killers are unable to tunnel me, and it's that bad, which I hope it doesn't get to that point to where it's that bad that they can't tunnel me, I'm gonna be mad, bro. Because y'all getting rid of one of the most fun interactions. Another interaction of a chase. Cause you know there are different types of ways ways a chase starts. Whether it's, you know, coincidentally you working on a gen, or you walking around trying to go on the objective, the killer sees you, you go into the chase. Or there's the other ones, what cocky survivors do, or survivors who just obsessed with chase. They go ahead and taunt the survivor go and taunts the killer comes after them, etc. And also, of course, tunneling. Which tunneling is probably by far the most interaction that you'll ever get when it comes to a chase. I don't know. I know a part of me, I already know a good amount is because of the survivor superiority mentality, to where if I want to get into a chase, it has to be good. If it doesn't end up being good, I'm going to say this, that, and the third. I'm going to put my whole survivor bias in line, you know? Because, you know, we all know asymmetrical games always have that victim mentality, that I forgot the proper word for it, but you know, killer and survivor are different. And since they're different, they always gonna have bias towards what they believe in. Like survivor, they're gonna have their bias towards what they believe in. Kill's gonna have their bias towards what they believe in. And then of course, you have the ones that play both sides, that understand both roles, and go on from it from like that. And then of course you do have the ones, of course, that's only killer, that's only survivor, and they get the other side, even though they don't play the other side, but they understand it. So they're rational too. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Damn, this video 9 minutes long. Well, that's it, man. That's all I wanted to say. I know some of y'all gonna feel some type of way. I don't care. This is what I believe. Cause to me, there's nothing wrong with getting tunneled in DBD. Don't get me wrong. If it was back in the day, of course. Cause at that point, it was required to have borrowed time back then. For those who was there back in the day, it was required for that jump. But due to all the type of anti-tunneling mechanics and what they added to tunneling now, I think we're good. They might need to add a little iffy bit on there, but for the most part, we're good. But yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with getting tunneled. Tunneling is fun. I'm talking about getting tunneled. My mistake. Let me rephrase it. Getting tunneled is fun. It's extremely fun. That's it, y'all.